Hiya Insters, happy hump day. How you doing? Happy Sagittarius season. Woo! I've never done a video like this before, so if you don't like it, I'm sorry. But I'm kind of feeling it this time. So yeah, stay with us or don't. I hope you are keeping well and that your Scorpio season has been grand. I am Hinny, a spiritual astrologer. You can subscribe to my channel if you like what I do. Excuse my hair and everything else. But yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you like what I do as well. I still have some spaces on my Introduction to Spiritual Astrology course, which they are free spaces, so you don't need to pay anything. And we meet every Saturday on Zoom, and we go really in depth in spiritual or Hellenistic astrology, so a more ancient standpoint or lens, and it's very, very small, the number of students. I think it's just one most of the time, and I try to record the lectures for those who can't make the live classes. And we are about, I think, to start talking about the planets. So we will devote a whole week or whole lecture plus seminar 2-hour class to each of the planets or the gods. So yeah, check it out in the description box below if you're interested. Of course, if you would like just a general reading with me as well, get in touch. Sagittarius season has begun officially. So as always, if you're new to my channel, by the way, every season I offer someone whose season it is, sun sign and rising, a 50% discount on my rate for any type of reading that I offer. That's general astrology readings, that's questions that you might have specifically about your chart, or questions about your life, or maybe you want a transit report or Saturn return report, or even a breath chart rectification. I offer all kinds of service. I have years now experience in astrology, and also tarot. I do astrological tarot. And I have testimonials, which you can check out on my website at hinnyastrology.com. But yeah, anyway, we are in Sagittarius season. You may have gathered because Mercury is already there in its detriment. And also Chiron is playing a big part, I would say, in this particular Sagittarius season, because Chiron's in Aries. That's one reason. And therefore making a trine to the sun in Sagittarius, and trines are the nature of Jupiter ruling Sagittarius. So we have a lovely sun Chiron trine this Sagittarius season. And also Aries is the exaltation of the sun, so I like that chemistry as well. But not only that, Chiron is, now I'm a Chiron rising, but if you have Chiron in your first house and or on the ascendant, you are basically a Sagittarius rising. You have a lot of affinity with that particular placement. Chiron is the immortalization, or was the immortalization, or was immortalized, what I want to say. He was immortalized as the constellation of Sagittarius. That's actually where the constellation comes from in the myths. And also Sagittarius season is my favorite. I love all the seasons, but Sagittarius season is my favorite season of the year astrologically. It's just an energy that I vibe with the most. And it is also the kind of season or energy that has helped me the most in so many different ways. Maybe I'll talk about a couple of them in this video. But anyway, Samhain is over pretty much at this point of the year when we move out of Scorpio season and into Sagittarius season. So this point of the year where the kind of veil between worlds is thinnest is starting to thicken up again and close up, if you believe or care about these things, or if you're in tune with these things, or you celebrate these things in any type of way. Samhain or Halloween is over, and Sagittarius season is a mutable fire season. It's the last fire season of the year, astrologically. It's also, by the way, I think going to be a very big launching pad for dragons, people born in the dragon year. I think this is going to be very instrumental, and I'm going to make a video on the dragon year later. But yeah, mutable fire, mutability, what is that? Double-bodiedness, double-bodied fire. This is, in ancient astrology, the signs, mutable ones, the signs that could be both cardinal and fixed, if you like. So they could start and finish. And very often they are kind of in between, swing in between the two. And so we get a loosening up and are kind of running away now from all that Scorpio kind of stuff that we talked a lot about. And we get more of this interesting, fun, extroverted type of energy coming through. And we also have a, what do I want to say? We have a natural sextile always between Aquarius and what do I even want to say? And Sagittarius. Oh, sorry, that's what I wanted to say. Yeah, Sagittarius naturally sextiles. Yeah, sextiles. Hilarious. Sextiles Aquarius and Libra. Those two signs. So we get even more Libra energy coming through. Being amplified, and we get, as I mentioned in my Mercury in Sagittarius video recently, we get more of the energy. By the way, if you like this style of video, let me know in the comments. If anyone even watches my videos, like I don't even know like if I have a regular viewer, but like if you like this type of video, let me know. I'll maybe make another one. But yeah, we are getting this kicking in now of Aquarian energy, which is the penultimate season of the astrological year, and what I call the most virile of the signs, the most virile of the energies, and arguably the most masculine of the energies. So that's interesting. We're getting a lot more masculine energy building up and kicking in. And the tone of this particular Sagittarius season, also we have the Sun conjunct or coming out of a conjunction with Mars, which is at the anaretic degree, the 29th degree, and also Ceres is there, both Mars and Ceres still being in Scorpio. So it kind of gets, the Sun kind of gets pushed out of Scorpio, if you like, by these two gods, and the Cazimi is done. And we have the host Jupiter retrograde at 7 degrees in Taurus, and I do see this as, like, for many people, relations and relationships, animosity, even evil, these like themes bubbling up more or being amplified or intensified more for a lot of people. And we get a natural trine also to Lady Fortuna in Aries, which I like, and we have a square to Saturn in Pisces and a square to Black Lilith or Lilith in Virgo. But what is like Sagittarius then, for those who are like brand new to this Sagittarius is fit. Sagittarius heavy people tend to be, in some sense, very athletic, not necessarily like in the physical sense, but they tend to be very athletic, quite restless souls. And yeah, excuse my weird hair, but this is what I do before bed. But yeah, Sagittarius is fit, and Sagittarius is jokes. Sagittarius is tomfoolery and calling people's bluff, also calling our own bluff. Oh my God, calling our own bluff as well in many ways. And Sagittarius is the ass, the arse, it's thighs, it's competition as well, and like really putting your back into something, or really like getting into a groove or a kind of competitive, flexy type of vibe in some cases for some people. And also we have the well, this metaphor of the well, or the archetype, if you like, of the well, which is Scorpio season, right? And the butterfly, which is Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is like the butterfly that is developed out of the chrysalis. Scorpio season being that crystallizing or that chrysalis type of season. And this is like knowing how to work with what remains, especially this year, I think. And Sagittarius is horse spirit, very happy-go-lucky. This is freeness, freedom. This is also frightfulness, being unnecessarily scared of things, or forgetting sometimes that it's okay to move without knowing everything. And also, by the way, Jupiter is exalted in the sign of Cancer. And so we have the Chariot in the Tarot, which plays a big role, I think, or is of note. And horse spirit is kind of like, if you're born in a horse year, you might relate to this, but horse spirit generally is sometimes like blowing it all for love or something. This is like, spending all your money on the person that you're in love with, getting into incredible debt. This is also blowing all of whatever else you might have or bring to the table in some sense. So we have to be careful sometimes in Sagittarius season, because there is that very big potential. Jupiter is the bigger the better, the bigger the better, the bigger the better energy of just blowing it all. And we don't want that to happen necessarily. Sagittarius season also offers a lot of us to just believe in ourselves, or believe in ourselves again, or once more. And it's like the rule of the 3 questions as well. Sometimes, I personally, a lot of people might relate to this, but for many years struggled with like just interacting with people and being incredibly like shy, like wallflower-like, like extra introverted. And over the last few years, like studying communication studies and these things, learning certain methods, we can practice like this. 3 is the magic number, right? But like 3 questions. So like when you meet someone, ask them 3 questions, like, how are you? If you know something about them that happened last time you met, ask them about that. That can be the 2nd question. 3rd question could be something else, like that reflects your interest, like what's your astrology sign? Or what's your dream? These questions are like sincere or fun or interesting, and they can kind of take people aback because you're asking about them and you're sincerely checking in on them and all that jazz. But also it helps us like believe in the spirit of ourselves and our relationships, and it makes like small talk more fun. It makes just interacting more fun, and it's interesting as well. It's explorative. I would also say to some people in Sagittarius season to not give a frig about nerves if you are someone like that. To follow your vibe and to follow the easygoing spirit, and kind of the easiest vibe for you. This stuff like, all those times in your life, especially if you're older, that your angels, so to speak, have come through and given you messages. It's like not forgetting those nuggets of wisdom. What were those messages? And carrying it with you in this, as we head to the spiritual winter. And it's kind of like you take out your buds or your headphones as well, especially when you're on the street. Sagittarius season is a great time to kind of like come out of the water. This is not Piscean, although Pisces has a lot of input in this Sagittarius season. But it's not the Piscean side of Jupiter, it's the Sagittarian side of Jupiter now. So it's like trying to get a bit out of the water now and more into the fire of stuff. And the fire of stuff is exciting and visionary. It's action. It is also, though, engaging more just readily with everything that's right in front of you, and not like escaping too much into the self or too much into our own world. It's very much about going out there in many cases for many people. But it's like taking out the earbuds and just connecting again with your environment and finding the curious little things about your environment again. And we miss so much. We miss so many sounds when we're not connected through our ears or whatever other sense. When we block a certain sense by doing something else, we just miss so much. And sometimes it can be quite insightful in Sagittarius season when we just tap more into that kind of wild or natural side, half horse, half human, and just ride through that forest, rough it, if you like. We have the sun in Sagittarius squaring Saturn in Pisces, so it is a bit of agitation for some people to juggle with or balance that internal, external, coming out to play and going in to play. And also tune into that kind of I get it, that's on me type of thing. This is one kind of download I had for this Sag season, but like, what are the truths that are yours to help you? And sometimes truths are hard, especially in Scorpio season. Some people may have realized or been told some harsh or hard to hear truths, but it's all for like our growth or our development or our healing even. And Sagittarius season is definitely a wise time to eat some crow and to take something in your stride, hold your head up high, and to knock chips off your shoulder, and to swallow pride as well. It's not Leo season. It's Sag season. So it's not like fixed fire. It's not the time to like be stuck in a vision. But anyway, also Sag season, especially this one, is like peaceful proactivity. And also this is stuff like forgiving, but not forgetting, but like not being petty or vengeful either. This is also puns and hilarity and tidbits and serendipity and smiling, and it's sages. It's people who are kind of like sages or wizards. And also some crazy shit can happen. Like I saw recently somebody like got really high or something and paid a wizard to make them invisible so they could rob a bank. I bet you that happened in Florida, because this kind of thing always happens, almost always happens in Florida, for some reason. But this is stuff like wise grannies as well, like also random flashes of wisdom. Again, we've got flashy insight coming through from this Mercury in Sagittarius transit as well, which is starting to make a strong or to amplify the natural sextile between Sagittarius and Aquarius. So we're getting that Aquarian energy creeping in fast. And Sagittarius, is about like pointing and shooting. In Korean as well, Kungsujari is the translation for Sagittarius, which is like the space or the place of the archer. And it's kind of like saying the thing and also clearing up our acts and to kind of up the will or the willpower and to kind of say frigate to some of the fate. So it's also like playing a bit more with our fate and our will. For me and for many Cancer risings, this is the sixth house. Sagittarius, sixth house season of bad fortune. And this season, this house makes a trine to the 10th house of career, but also praxis and big action, where we have Aries. And this is like, when I was like really young, I never imagined that I'd be doing what I do now, which is like putting myself on YouTube or teaching in classes, sometimes of many, many students. I never ever thought I would do stuff like that. I think because of like shyness or insecurity, or even things that people would say that would throw me off a path or the right way. And Sagittarius is that right way season, by the way. But yeah, at some point I had to do it. At some point I had to step in front of people and speak and say things and teach. I'm like a born teacher. That's just me. and teach and do the thing. So we're getting a lot of that just do it, just fucking do it energy coming from Aries and Chiron in Aries, and this trine to the sun in Sagittarius. But yeah, it's just like, we have to put ourselves in some situation at some point, or we have to ask the question at some point. Sagittarius is always being associated with the question and the big questions and curiosities. So I think that will be highlighted and amplified more for a lot of people. Also, Sagittarius season is like entertaining that which we are skeptical of. Sagittarius is the natural skeptic. I don't know who said it, I don't remember, but like there's a famous quote by someone who said, "I don't believe in astrology. I'm a Sagittarius and we're skeptical," or "we're skeptics," something along those lines. If someone knows in the comments, you can comment below, but that's quite hilarious and that's quite like Sagittarian. Sagittarius opposes Gemini. So the Gemini-Sagittarius axis is very usually Gemini or Sagittarius heavy people have a lot of skepticism, a lot of mental criticism, or kind of playfulness as well with things that they may or may not actually believe in. But there is this way in which they entertain it anyway. They can entertain ideas quite easily and funnily. And they also kind of like to play with fortune. They have this way, especially Gemini energy, it's often like 1 foot in, 1 foot out the door, kind of coyote energy. We get a lot of Virgo energy, which is the exaltation of Mercury, creeping in as well with this square to the sun, Lilith's square to the sun. So Virgo is also coming through this time. And we have stuff like traveling and the traveler. This year especially, I think more of the kind of wise kind of traveler or randomer who comes your way. This is also stuff like flash ups. Flash ups? What is a flash up? I don't know, you tell me. Flash ups or like flash hookups and encounters with like happy people, also like no strings attached people. It is kind of the season a lot of the time where people just give you stuff and there's literally no condition. It's just take it. This is like funny bus stop conversations. This is like having a joke with the server or the waiter. And also because we have this Virgo energy really creeping in or squaring, this is remembering to help the helper as a kind of divine duty. This is Sagittarius square Virgo naturally as well. And finally, before I go on too much, this is smiling. And I think I said that already, but smiling and laughing and joking and like giddily having safe fun. Of course, fun needs to be kind of safe, and that's sometimes where we go wrong in Sagittarius season, because we forget we're in like the shadow half of the year now, heading towards spiritual winter. So as I said earlier, we can blow it all and go too far, too big in Sagittarius season. So that's just like a little warning. But even with squares that are Jupiterian, like the Pisces Sagittarius square, I think that's like the easiest square to work with because it's just so Jupiter ruled. So I think that's only like a small disclaimer, like to be careful of being unsafe with the fun. But this is just like say yes in this season to more things for many people. And this is also stuff like cherishing family, past and present. Sagittarius has a very deep, Sagittarius is not devoid of feelings or only running away from feelings. Sagittarius has a way in which they can really pull up and pull from the back those things that have happened to them and cherish past people and past memories. It's just that they tend to have more of an optimistic or philosophical outlook. And also they have this great tendency to be able to keep trotting along and getting on with it anyway, with a positive or sunny disposition. Sagittarius, of course, also trines Leo naturally, the sun. And anyway, finally, know that you are the horse shit. So giddy up. And that's all I'm going to say on this fine hump day. Have a lovely midweek, and I'll see yous in the next one, which is probably going to be the full moon in Gemini video. I love yous. Give me a like, thumbs up if you like what I do, and subscribe. Bye bye.